All right, so we're diving into TC Energy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sustainability, all that. You got their 2022 sustainability report. We've got some stuff from their annual report, 2023. Should be interesting. I don't know about you, but TC Energy and sustainability,
Yeah.
those don't really seem like they go together.
It's funny, because you think TC Energy, you think those big pipeline projects, right? Keystone Pipeline, all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, fossil fuels for sure. But they're more than just that. It's wild, their portfolio.
Yeah, that's what I like about these deep dives.
Well,
Always something unexpected.
always.
So come on then. They're more than pipelines. What else they got going on?
Okay, so obviously, yeah, they're huge in natural gas, liquids too. But get this, nuclear power.
No way.
Yeah, they own a big chunk of Bruce Power. It's this Canadian power plant, 48.3% to be exact. And they're aiming for, get this, 7,000 megawatts peak output by 2033?
7,000.
7,000. Think about it. That's like, what, 5 million homes? Something like that?
Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about, nuclear power.
Yeah.
Not the first thing that pops into my head with TC Energy. And it's not just the old stuff either, right? They're messing around with some pretty futuristic energy tech, too.
Oh, yeah, they're investing in some cool stuff. Pumped hydro storage is a big one. Basically, it's like a massive battery for renewable energy,
Yeah.
but it uses water to store and release power, when it's needed. And then there's hydrogen, of course, could be huge if it works out. Clean fuel source, potentially. And then carbon capture. That's the holy grail right there. If they can figure that out, it changes everything.
Sounds like they're hedging their bets a bit,
A little bit.
dipping their toes in all the pools, so to speak.
Fossil fuels, though, that's still their bread and butter, yeah.
For sure. And that's what makes it interesting, right? Because they've got these big sustainability commitments. But how do you make that work when you're still so reliant on fossil fuels? Million-dollar question.
So how does a company like TC Energy, right, with all the fossil fuels, how do they even try to be sustainable? They've got these 9 commitments in their report, but honestly, it sounds like a bunch of corporate jargon to me. Yeah, it's easy to be cynical.
It is.
But look, there are a couple things they're doing that I think are worth paying attention to. For one, they're putting serious money into community stuff. In 2021, it was like $28.3 million.
Okay, but what does that even mean? $28 million, is that a lot?
It's not chump change, that's for sure.
Okay.
But it's about 1% of their net income for that year, which is actually higher than what most companies in their industry give.
Okay, so they're putting their money where their mouth is, at least when it comes to communities.
Yeah.
But what about the environment, though? Like, yeah, they're dabbling in carbon capture and all that, but they're still all about those fossil fuels.
Right, and that's where their whole Reconciliation Action Plan comes in. It's all about working with Indigenous communities, making sure their projects aren't harming Indigenous land rights and stuff like that. They're putting a lot of emphasis on getting their pipelines built responsibly. Like with that Tuxpan-Tula pipeline in Mexico, they actually relocated, get this, over 46,000 plants, native plants.
Whoa, 46,000 plants.
Yeah, to minimize the environmental impact,
That's pretty wild. All right, so we've talked about community impact, environmental stuff, but let's get real here. Sustainability, all that, it sounds good, but it's got to cost a fortune, right?
Huh?
What's the financial side of all this for TC Energy?
Oh, yeah. It's not cheap being green. In 2023 alone, their carbon pricing programs cost them $109 million. Plus, there are always cost overruns. Take the Coastal GasLink pipeline, for example.
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
That thing resulted in a $2.1 billion impairment charge for TC Energy just this year.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. $2.1 billion.
Yeah.
That's insane. And hold on, what's an impairment charge? Sounds ominous.
Basically, it means the pipeline project is costing them way more than they planned, so they had to lower its value on their books, which, it hurts their profits.
Makes sense.
And this whole thing with Coastal GasLink, it shows just how risky these big projects can be for companies like TC Energy, all the financial risks, the regulations, everything.
It's a tough spot to be in. They're trying to keep your investors happy, make money, and oh yeah, the whole world is changing how we use energy.
Yeah.
Plus, everyone's watching what they do, how they do it.
Exactly.
And it's not always pretty, right? What was that thing back in 2016? They bought that Columbia pipeline group, and then
that whole thing.
it was in the news, something about a court case.
Yeah, a Delaware court basically said that TC Energy, they knew the guys selling Columbia Pipeline Group weren't playing fair with their own shareholders.
Really?
And TC Energy went along with it anyway.
Wait, so they got in trouble for, like, being shady?
Yeah, they got hit with a big fine. We could be talking over $400 million. TC Energy's appealing it, of course, but still, it's not a good look.
Not at all. So it's not just about the environment. They've got to be ethical, too.
Yeah, sustainability, it's not just about being green, it's about doing business the right way. And that's something TC Energy needs to figure out, clearly.
Hmm.
So yeah, where do they go from here? Good question.
So they've got this court case, right? Makes them look bad. And on top of that, everyone's saying we need clean energy. Like yesterday, we talked about pumped hydro, hydrogen, all that, but that's all way down the line. What are they doing right now?
Well, they're really pushing natural gas, saying it's a bridge fuel, get us to a lower carbon future eventually.
Bridge fuel, right?
Yeah, not everyone agrees with that, obviously. Some people say it's just more fossil fuels no matter how you spin it. But
Right.
that's their big thing right now, natural gas.
And that's where that Alberta Carbon Grid comes in, right? With Pembina Pipeline.
Exactly.
That's a big deal if it works the way they say it will.
Huge, potentially. I mean, we're talking about capturing and storing over 20 million tons of CO2 every year.
20 million.
Yeah. Think about it. That's like taking more than 4 million cars off the road every year.
Wow.
So yeah, if they can actually do it, it would be a big step towards that whole net zero goal.
It's a big if, though, right? I mean, it's all based on technology that's kind of unproven. Seems risky. Makes you wonder, are they serious about this whole net zero by 2050 thing? Or are they just buying time, trying to look good?
Yeah, it makes you think, can a company like TC Energy, so into fossil fuels, can they really get behind a net zero future? It's hard to imagine. They say they can, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting to watch, that's for sure.
It is. So we've covered a lot here. Their investments, their sustainability stuff, the legal problems, the money. It's a lot. What's the takeaway for the average person, the person listening to this, trying to figure out, like, what does TC Energy even mean in all this climate change stuff?
Honestly, I think TC Energy, they're kind of like a mini version of the whole energy industry. They're dealing with the same issues, the same pressure, trying to figure it all out, just
Yeah.
like everyone else.
Yeah, no easy answers.
Nope. And their story, it shows that this whole sustainability thing, it's not about being perfect. It's about making progress, even if it's messy.
And it's not over yet.
Not even close.
Their story is still being written, right? Just like the story of how we're going to get our energy in the future. Yeah. And we're all part of that story, whether we like it or not. That's what TC Energy shows us, I think. The choices they make, they affect everyone. So, yeah, it's something to think about.